I was just thinking about this with the new iPhone launches or with the new phone launches or new hardware launches. It feels like I don't know what's going on, but it feels like people have completely lost interest in any hardware product, like in general. Ever since the smartphone came out, we've all collectively just been like, you know what, whatever it is, we're good. We don't want to use any of that stuff. You know what I mean? And obviously, the first step of that was like the Google Glass. I genuinely don't know a single person at the time, now, ever, that has ever bought the Google Glass, that has ever used the Google Glass. It was like a released in like 2014 or something. It was like super early release. That was like Google's approach at like a hardware technology thing that I feel like nobody just used. They look kind of silly. It was just like glasses with this big like light bulb or whatever. Like I don't think anyone was really like that excited about those. No one really cared, right? Like people didn't really buy those. It really didn't make its way into the zeitgeist of, tech tools that people actually use. Then there was the Snapchat glasses, which I don't know if people remember, but like the precursor to like the new like Meta glasses, like the Ray-Ban like Meta ones. There was Snapchat that did basically like the same exact thing. Those just like glasses for you to make like Snapchats on, essentially, or like to record videos on. They were like the first to do that. I remember seeing like one person I knew had them, but that was pretty much it. But again, like they didn't really catch on. Like no one was really using them. I don't remember ever seeing anybody except for like one person ever wear them. But yeah, it feels like again that was also like a flop of a of a release. That I feel like that really didn't generate any interest, and like again didn't really enter the zeitgeist of what people use. Then the next thing was like the more recent ones, right? First, the Apple Vision Pro, which was like supposed to be like this new way for us to interact with like computers. It was like this VR headset that you could wear that was like this big thing, and you saw like the ads or whatever of people like in real life just like walking around using it, because it was supposed to be like augmented reality sort of thing where you could like see things in front of you and you could like interact with them with your hands and like your eyes and stuff. And that one actually had a ton of buzz. I felt like that was like one of the first ones where I actually like saw videos. Like Casey Neistat made a video about it where he went through New York wearing the thing, and he tried to like he got a lot of people looking at him like he was crazy, obviously, because it was like such a big, insanely huge thing that like was made you stand out like a sore thumb or whatever. But again, it's like all that hype and like all the videos, everyone like pushing it, all the reviewers, because this was also the start of like the Apple Vision Pro or whatever was like one of the first ones that like had reviewers on YouTube be like all over it and talking about it all the time. And it feels like everyone was just kind of like, okay, cool, I don't care. Like the this massive thing, like you're not gonna catch me dead wearing that thing, even though it was like supposed to be kind of cool. But again, people just didn't care at all. It just sort of like came and went. I literally, ever since its release and like maybe a month after, I haven't heard one thing about it. Like I don't know a single person that's used it. I've never seen it in real life. I've only seen it in videos. So yeah, again, another like hardware device that's supposed to be like the future of how we interact with computers that just like continues to fail and fail and fail. Right. And which brings us to like the Meta glasses. It's like the latest one, right? Where they collaborated with Ray-Bans. It's like the same exact thing, right? Where it's like the Snapchat goggles were, walked so that the Meta glasses could run. Because they essentially were the exact same thing. And that was like, this is like the first one, right? In theory, the first one that people are like starting to use a little bit, right? Because you see TikToks of it or whatever, of people like with the Meta glasses on, or people talking about them a little bit more just because they're like not as obtrusive and like as insanely big as like the Apple Vision Pro or whatever. But again, I don't see them very often. And I don't really feel like it's like, again, this one had the reviewers pushing it, right? Casey Neistat made the video on it, right? All the people were like, "Oh, the Meta goggles, like the release, the huge launch, a ton of money went into marketing this thing." And I still don't see that much of it. It feels like I don't know what is going on, but it does feel it's very interesting to me. I was just thinking about this, and like, are humans just naturally like resistant to like hardware products? Like once we got something that we're like, all right, we know we got our phones, we're comfortable with that. We've used it now for like decades, and we're like, okay, we're good. We don't want the future of hardware technology. We just want our phones. Like, phones are more than good enough. We don't want to be looking weird with like the Huge Vision Pro or, those like VR headset things. We just want to stick with our phone and that's it. I was like, I wonder why that is. Cause like it feels like every single one of these big companies, right? Meta, Google with the Google Glass, Snapchat with the Snapchat goggles, Apple, like the biggest, the best. You'd think it's like, okay, you have the best designers in the world, right? You have the best like manufacturers, probably. All these like billion-dollar companies that poured all this money into like the research of all these tools, and it feels like we just don't care. You know what I mean? Like we're like, no, we're good, man. You guys can keep that. We're good with our phones over here and our computers. And that was really interesting to me. I was like, I wonder why that is, that like it's been consistent like over the past decade that people have been trying to make these tools, that we're saying like, no, we're good. And for some reason, the manufacturers, like the big companies, right? They're still like going for it. They're still trying, which is like super interesting. It's like, do they see? Are we stupid? Are we the dumb ones? Are we missing something with all these things? Are these that revolutionary? Are these that like insane and that powerful and that like beneficial to our lives that we're missing something? Because it's like, these teams try for like a decade plus to get us using these things, and we just seem to not care, which is like really interesting to me. I was like, I wonder why. Like, why is this happening? It's just very interesting to me. I was like, I wonder what is actually causing us. Like, what about them is causing us to like not be interested in them at all, right? Because okay, the Vision Pro, right? Understandable. It's like this huge thing. Again, you don't want to look stupid. You don't want to be like the one guy wearing it. Completely understandable. But then the glasses, right? Like the Google Glass, the Snapchat glasses, the Meta glasses, it feels like those are much more like tame in comparison, obviously. And they're much more like wearable, and they're much more like, low key. Like you don't necessarily have to be like sticking out but wearing these things. They do feel like a natural thing that we'd want to wear, because we do like every single thing, every other thing basically, where something gets like better or something gets like, some cool new thing comes out. A lot of people usually use it, especially right now with like AI models. It's like every day you hear a new AI model that's better or that's cooler, does this cool new thing, and then everyone just flocks to that new one. You know what I mean? But like with hardware, for some reason, it's super different. And yeah, it's just very interesting. That's all. That's all there really is to it. I was just like that. It's very interesting that how resistant we are to like hardware technology.